Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, downtown Victoria buzzes with patriotic energy as the community comes out to honor our veterans.
A federal immigration leader shifts operations from Chicago to new cities, part of a larger national strategy.
And a major breakthrough in Washington could end the longest government shutdown in history.
Well, if you thought it was cold this morning, you were right. We were down to 33 degrees, but now that the south wind has kicked in, we're looking for warming temperatures. Won't be that cold for the rest of the week, and I'll have your forecast coming up in a moment.
And tonight starts the UAL Regional Volleyball Finals there across the Crossroads. We'll highlight all of our 3 teams remaining later on in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Shawna Currie.
And I'm Brubaker. What a great morning it was for a Veterans Day parade in downtown Victoria. The weather was great. The crowd was tremendous. Sunrise anchor Carolina Astroin and meteorologist Parker Cox were in the 25 News Now vehicle enjoying the whole moment. Officials tell us there were 71 entries in the parade and an estimated downtown crowd of over 3,000 people. I was extremely honored to be the Grand Marshal of this year's Veterans Day parade. It was great talking to the thousands of people lining the streets. Veterans proudly carrying U.S. flags led the way, and to see so many people there for the parade was fantastic. As the proud son of a World War II veteran, it warmed my heart on a beautiful Veterans Day morning. These people always appreciate the sacrifices our veterans made to protect our freedom.
And the parade wasn't just about floats. Several school bands hit the streets as well, filling the air with music. Afterwards, our chief meteorologist, Mac Perez, took the stage to give the crowd a Veterans Day history lesson, explaining how it started as Armistice Day at the end of World War I. And Mac didn't just talk the part. He was decked out in a full World War I soldier uniform, helmet and all. There really was something for everyone at this year's parade and ceremony in downtown. And other events have been happening throughout the day to honor veterans, including the 4th annual Vet Fest.
25 News Now reporter Ray Mosley is live at Warrior Weekend Field of Honor with details on what makes this event so special, right?
Here at Warriors Weekend Field of Honor, veterans come to feel honored. And earlier today, there was another big event for the community to show their respects. Vet Fest is more than just food and music. It's about joy, camaraderie, and fellowship among veterans. Warriors Weekend President Ron Koshin wants veterans to remember that they're appreciated and hasn't forgotten about them.
You look around, everything you have comes to you through the power of Jesus Christ or the American military veteran. Those are the 2 entities that give you everything you have.
Koshin honors the fallen by participating in roll call and says even after a war, it's never really over for their families.
Their families know that we've never forgotten them and we never will forget them. It's very, very important that we don't forget what the service and sacrifice these people have done.
Military Peer Service Coordinator Oscar Pulido says it's a privilege to be able to celebrate the veterans. He calls himself spirit-led and says the point of Vet Fest is to build connectivity with other veterans.
We want to be able to get people out of isolation and get people out here to be able to be honored and enjoy their day.
Both Koshin and Pulido wants people to remember that Vet Fest is a meaningful gathering that honors veterans and cultivates connection. There's many of resources available such as hospice, care funding, and even counseling. Reporting at the Warriors Weekend Field of Honor, Ray Mosley, KAVU TV, 25 News Now. Shawna.
Ray, thank you. On this Veterans Day, we honor all who served in the military. It is a time to celebrate those who are still with us and a time to remember those who died.
But as veteran journalist Bill Clough reports, at least one area cemetery where those who served are laid to rest appears forgotten.
Lots of flags flying today. Lots of people saying lest we forget. But in more than 20 cemeteries in the city and the county are the graves of veterans mostly unseen. Such as this one. There are more than 60 graves in there, including soldiers, but you couldn't tell it. That bothers this man.
I'm John Tate, past commander of the American Legion, Post 166 here in Victoria.
The graves are scattered throughout cemeteries in the city and the county, mostly neglected.
The Victoria Veterans Council is composed of all the veterans organizations in Victoria County. One of the things we did was took on the task of cleaning up the cemeteries that had veterans buried in them that no one took care of. Every Saturday we would get together and pick 2 or 3 and go clean them up. We'd pick up all the trash, take care of the underbrush, mow them, clean out around the headstones and reset them. Oh, we got too old, and guys started dying off and retiring, and we just could not do it anymore.
City of Victoria cleaned it up the last time we saw people out here cleaning it up. They pay a contractor to come out and do it.
Except this cemetery isn't in the city. The city only maintains Evergreen Cemetery, and the county, in a written statement,
we didn't want anybody to say thank you or anything else. It's just we owed it to these guys.
Tate says the city and the county should care for the cemeteries. Mowing twice a year is hardly perpetual care. Is there an answer? Maybe not, knowing the logistical and economic pressures on regional governments. There is a unique grave in this cemetery. Charlie Booker served in World War I. WAGR, Wagoneer. Britain shipped more feed to the front than ammunition. Charlie's was an important job. A railroad man, appropriate for a wagoneer. He died in 1979 at the age of 86.
I'm a firm believer that, I get to do what I do every day because of what they do. They pretty much write a blank check for our country. How do you not respect that?
Yet, despite all the flags flying today, some lack that respect, such as Charlie, not quite forgotten this Veterans Day, waiting for a good Samaritan who rarely comes.
The Warriors Weekend Field of Honor is one of many locations the community is gathering on this Veterans Day to pay tribute to our veterans.
Later tonight, a very special ceremony will take place honoring the service and sacrifice of those who've defended our country. 25 News Now reporter Trenton Whiting is live with the preview. Trenton?
Well, Don, Shawna, I'm here on the hill at Warriors Weekend Field of Honor, standing in the middle of a sea of flags, all flying as intended, unblemished, perfectly cared for by the group here at Warriors Weekend Field of Honor. But this evening, actually currently ongoing, Victoria families will be laying to rest their American flags that are no longer fit to fly at the annual flag retirement ceremony. Now, this ceremony is the official way to put American flags out of commission that are worn and torn. Families will fold their flags after years of use into the customary triangle, place them into the flames at a pit already created here at the Field of Honor, and once all the flags have been retired, the ashes are then buried in respect and in the dignity that American flags should be put out of commission with. Now, I was at this event last year, and you could tell just how serious these families take it and the importance that it is to Victoria families. Some, when they place their flag in the flames, either salute if they're active military members or say a silent prayer for those that have fallen. Now, this event is currently ongoing, and we plan to provide more coverage at the 10 p.m. newscast later tonight. Reporting live from the Field of Honor, Trenton Whiting, KAVU-TV, 25 News Now.
Well, cracks, craters, and potholes, oh my. These pesky road hazards do more than slow you down. They can damage your car and hit your wallet. Today, we spotted some trouble at Bridge and Trinity Streets. If there's a pothole wreaking havoc on your commute, we want to hear about it. Email us at staff@crossroadstoday.com and let us know if it's causing car trouble or if it's just an eyesore or a bump in your commute. And if you see news happening, give our newsroom a call at 361-576-0026 or send us an email at staff@crossroadstoday.com.
Last year's Veterans Day parade in Victoria got rained out. This year, just the opposite. Yes.
Yeah, it was pretty chilly when we woke up, but it turned out to be an absolutely beautiful day. So, Mac, what are we seeing going forward into the rest of the week?
Yes, it was a beautiful day. You might have noticed that the south wind reestablished itself, and that's why tonight we're going to be 20 degrees warmer. We got down to 33 this morning, and look at that. We're looking at 54 tomorrow morning. That's a big difference, and of course all of that is because the south wind is kicking in. We're going to be looking for warming weather, so that was it for our cold snap. We're now looking for a warm and windy couple of days, and we'll be talking about that, taking a look all the way to the weekend coming up in a moment. Back to you.
Mike, thank you. Authorities report 3 people here illegally were arrested this morning in Goliad County. The arrest happened in the area of Highway 183 and Old Goliad Road. At first, 2 people were arrested and 1 fled into the brush. The last person was later arrested by Goliad County deputies with the help of ICE agents. 2 of the men are identified as Gerardo Alarcon Gonzalez and Jose Ayala Salas, both from Mexico. The 3 men were turned over for deportation proceedings.
The top Border Patrol official behind the Trump administration's immigration push may be leaving Chicago as soon as this week. 3 U.S. officials say Gregory Bovino, who's been leading the effort, plans to shift operations to other cities. After Los Angeles and Chicago, his team is expected in Charlotte and New Orleans. Homeland Security says work in Chicago is not over, though, calling Operation Midway Blitz a continuing success.
The United Kingdom has halted intelligence sharing with the U.S. on suspected drug trafficking vessels in the Caribbean. Sources tell CNN the move follows concerns that U.S. military strikes, which may have killed numerous people, may be illegal. It marks a rare break between close allies and reflects growing skepticism over the Trump administration's military operations in Latin America.
The federal government could soon reopen after Senate Democrats joined Republicans to pass a funding bill.
Julia Benbrook is following the developments from the White House, where Democrats dropped their push for extended health care subsidies.
A major breakthrough in the Senate as the chamber approved a funding bill that could end what is now the longest government shutdown in history. It now heads to the House and must be approved there before it lands on President Donald Trump's desk for a signature. Here's what's in the deal. It's a stopgap measure to fund the government through January 30th. SNAP benefits will be paid through fiscal year 2026. Federal workers fired during the shutdown will be reinstated, and no more mass firings will take place through January. Ahead of the Senate's vote, Trump said he supported the plan.
Based on everything I'm hearing, they haven't changed anything, and we have support from enough Democrats, and we're going to be opening up our country. It's too bad it was closed, but we'll be opening up our country very quickly. I'll abide by the deal. The deal is very good.
Now, the deal does not do what Democrats have repeatedly pushed for throughout this process: extend the enhanced Obamacare subsidies set to expire at the end of the year. It does promise a future Senate vote on it, but the House has not committed to taking it up. The shutdown continues to be politically painful for members of both parties. Republicans have repeatedly shouldered the blame for the lapse in funding in recent polling, and this deal, struck by Democratic centrists in the Senate, has ignited a fight within the party about its strategy going forward. At the White House, I'm Julia Benbrook.
Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 6, flight problems multiply across the country, the numbers behind the travel chaos.
Also ahead, flight problems force travelers to get creative, how one industry is benefiting from the chaos. Rental car companies are reporting a spike in one-way rentals. It comes amid the widespread flight cancellations at major U.S. airports, which is the FAA's effort to try to counter the effect of air traffic controller staffing shortages due to the government shutdown. Rental car company Hertz reported a 20% rise in one-way rentals. Travelers are renting vehicles as a backup plan to help reach their destinations. Catching a flight just got even more challenging. Starting today, 6% of flights are being cut at dozens of major airports across the country, part of an emergency order from the FAA.
Maribel Gonzalez is following the impact as the government shutdown forces air traffic reductions and travelers brace for longer delays and more cancellations.
Until a deal to end the federal government shutdown is inked, airlines must continue to follow the FAA's emergency order to incrementally reduce flight capacity at 40 major U.S. airports, rising to 10% by Friday.
We were scared that it was going to delay like a whole day or more, but luckily it was only an hour. But hopefully this doesn't delay it more.
Tuesday, the flight cuts rose from 4 to 6%, but Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says that percentage is actually higher.
The issue here is you saw more delays over the weekend than 4%. And we thought it's better to manage a reduction in flights, to systematically do it, to plan for it, than to let chaos ensue.
Secretary Duffy visited Central Wisconsin Airport on day 42 of a record-long government shutdown, speaking to air traffic controllers who have missed 2 paychecks.
We have some controllers who are put in a very difficult position.
He warned that even when the government shutdown ends, air travel won't resume to full capacity immediately.
I'm concerned that we're not going to have on day one controllers come back into the towers right away.
There have been at least 638 reports of short staffing since the government shutdown began on October 1st. That's more than 6 times as many as were reported on the same dates last year.
Had a 6-hour delay in Houston, and the weather was perfect. It's because the air traffic controllers aren't getting paid.
I'm Maribel Gonzalez reporting.
It may not be heavy coat weather here in South Texas, but much of the country is shivering this week. An Arctic blast is bringing snow and record cold to parts of the Midwest and East, with some areas digging out from heavy accumulations. Meteorologists like our Maclovio Perez say areas are as far south as Florida could reach historic lows before the polar plunge is done. Oh,
that looks cold.
That's not the kind of plunge I want to do. All right.
I don't get it. Polar plunge. He fell on the snow. That's what he did. Yes, we'll be talking about that big East Coast storm that basically is what's giving us the cold weather. But now that the south wind has come back, well, we're not going to be quite as cold. 66 right about now. Our high today got up to 76, and this morning it wasn't your imagination. It was 33 officially out at the airport, and that compares to a record of 32. So we were 1 degree off the record. So yes, it was chilly, but it's warming up for the rest of the week, and we'll have that coming up after this. Welcome back, everybody. Don't adjust your TV set. I'm not there. I'm over here. I'm by the computer because my clicker's not working. So let's just talk over the maps that you're going to see. As you can see, the big high pressure was on top of us, but that is rolling eastward. And that is why that this morning, in fact, I noticed at the parade that the south wind was kicking in, and that means that we're going to start moderating our temperatures very quickly. In fact, tonight won't be nearly as cold as it was just this morning. Of course, the big difference is our wind. These are the current temperatures across the state. You can see how everybody is in the 60s and 70s as right about now. And again, temperatures tonight will be about 20 degrees milder. What a difference. That cold, dry air is being replaced by that Gulf air. That south wind is going to be probably in the 15 to 20 mile an hour range for the next 2 or 3 days. And so that is going to bring back the Gulf air. It's going to be a little breezier in the afternoons, but no major problems. Still a fairly nice weather. In fact, I think you'll enjoy it because of the, shall we say, the we've been to a hard winter. Now we can enjoy the mild weather. That was a cold winter, wasn't it, Don? The fire weather watch has been lowered. I'm excited about that, so that's good news. But let's just all continue being very careful. Now we've got grasses that are going to go dormant, so things are going to be fairly dry out there. And of course, yesterday I sort of teased everybody with rain for the weekend, and we will be talking about that in a moment. These are the overnights. Wow, what a difference. 54 instead of 33, a good 20-degree warm-up. And then tomorrow on Wednesday we'll be up to about 82, low 80s, pretty much all of our region. Now let's take a look at the big picture. That big nasty cold storm in the east is going to be sliding off of the continent. So that's pretty much over with, and they're going to warm up a little bit. On the west coast, you see the big storm dropping down off of Los Angeles. That ordinarily, I'd get all excited about that because that is a perfect situation for a good wet storm for us. But instead of going easterly toward Texas, it's going to go northeasterly up into Colorado. So it's going to kind of ride up and over. Still, as you can see, for Sunday and Monday, we have a little bit of chance of rain, but the storm basically splits in half. You see how we still have big stormy weather over Southern California, and that will mean that something in the next 7 days may be affecting our weather as well. So let's go see what we can expect in terms of temperatures. So here we go with the day planner for the Port Lavaca area. We're getting up to, well, let's go to Cuero here. Cuero is getting up to about 83 tomorrow, so lots of sunshine. Temperatures about 20 degrees milder, so it won't be quite as cold. Here's your 7-day. As you can see right here, warming temperatures up into the low to mid 80s through Saturday. Then we pick up just a slight chance of a shower or two on Sunday night into Monday as the tail end of that cold front moves through. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that, put Crossroads Today on your phone. And we'll toss it back to Shawna.
All right, well, now we send it over to sports with Max Williams, and we're talking football playoffs.
That's right, Shawna. We're talking specifically the Cuero Gobblers as they're hosting a home playoff game versus La Feria Lions Friday night. So stay right there, and I'll give you the full game preview. And tonight we begin the regional final action for high school volleyball, and the Goliad Tigerettes look to reach the state semifinals for back-to-back years, facing the London Pirates. And tonight our 25 News Now weekend sports anchor Ray Robinson is at Rockport High School for this major clash.
Max, we're here in Rockford Fulton as the Goliad Tigerettes get ready to take on the London Pirates, and Goliad just doing nothing but smooth sailing this whole postseason, sweeping all their opponents all the way from their district matchups and looking to do the same in their regional matchup against London. Goliad showing no signs of rust because they've been in a similar position like this before, only losing 3 of their seniors from last year's team that went all the way to state. The regional matchup taking on a team like London. The Pirates had an overall record of 25-5, but don't sleep on the Pirates because they know they have a formidable opponent in Goliad and is looking to make a statement against a team like this. But here shortly, the whole city of Goliad looks to be here in high spirits and looking to advance to the semifinals. The game will start here at 6:30. Make sure you tune in for our 10 p.m. newscast for highlights, results, and potentially a word from a player. Reporting here at Rockford Fulton High School, Ray Robinson, KAVU TV 25 News Now, Sports.
All right, the 2 other matchups tonight with the Industrial Cobras facing the Stockdale Brahmas in the 3A Division II regional finals. If Industrial wins, they'll either face the Clifton Cubs or the Hardin Hornets in the state semifinals. In 2A Division II, the Shiner Comanches face the Vernon Panthers. That game starts at 7 p.m. for the regional final. If Shiner wins, they face the Detroit Bulldogs or the Iola Bulldogs in the state semifinals. Now over to the first round action of the football playoffs, where the Cuero Gobblers are hosting the Feria Lions this Friday night at Gobbler Stadium, and both of these teams meet up in the first round of the postseason. Last year, and Cuero won 83-20, and the Gobblers, they're going to be hosting a game back at Gobbler Stadium since 2022 when they faced Sealy. So it's the first time in 3 years they're hosting a game. And Jackson Marine, Walker Dietz, and Aiden Strecker hope to be huge for the Gobblers, because if they win, they'll either face the Bandaria Bulldogs or the Gonzales Apaches in the next round. And over to the NBA, the Dallas Mavericks fired general manager Nico Harrison on Tuesday. His dismissal comes months after Harrison shocked the sports world in general when he traded away fan favorite and their top player in Luka Doncic to the Lakers in February. Mavericks owner Patrick Dumont dreads Harrison's firing in a letter to fans. He says it was a responsible act when the team results didn't meet the expectations heading into Tuesday night's action. Dallas currently 3-8 record right now, near the bottom of the Western Conference. And quickly, the college football playoff rankings were revealed, and again, Ohio State Buckeyes there are at the #1 seed, and currently we had there at the #3 spot still is Texas A&M. At the #6 spot after their win over BYU is Texas Tech, and then at #10 is Texas right now. That is the rankings here for this week. And that's going to do it here in sports. Don, Shawna, back to you.
3 Texas teams in the top 10. How about that? Thank you, Max. We're back in a moment. Find out how much this blue diamond was sold for an auction today in Switzerland. And that's not a blue diamond almond. That's a regular blue diamond. Weighing nearly 10 carats sold at auction in Switzerland today for $26.6 million. The 9.51 carat Melon Blue was named for the late American arts patron Rachel Bunny Mellon. The diamond was previously sold in 2014, the year that Mellon died, for $32.6 million. Oh, the price is dropping. Anyway, Christie's Auctions reports that was one of the highest prices ever paid for a colored diamond at auction.
It's absolutely
crazy.
beautiful.
Absolutely.
You know, if I win the, what is the Mega Millions, I guess, that has a drawing tonight, then I can go buy
The
it.
guys are thinking, where would you go with that thing on? You know?
Yeah.
I know. Almost as blue as the skies this morning for the parade.
Skies are gorgeous today. We're looking at warming weather. Won't be as cold tonight, getting down to only 52, not 32, 3.
Thank you, Mac. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you back here tonight at 10.